Good evening. Lisa Maxwell here to do a reading for Monday, March 10th. Be using the Shadowscapes deck by Stephanie Pui-Mun Law and Barbara Moore. Actually, so it's the end of Monday, March 10th, so I guess this will be March 11th. We do have a card coming out, and it is the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is actually the artwork on the front of the box of this deck, and I was staring at her for quite a bit before I opened the box. Noticing the two swans there. And I'm forgetting the names of these flowers. They're typically red. Tropical flower. But in this one, they're purple. She is the queen of the utilizing the queen of where we've become mature in our thought processes, our attitudes, our self-talk, and thus we are able to communicate better. She uses her communication in a way to transform situations. Which can change everything, right? The way we communicate, the way we persist to, connect with one another through whatever types of communication it is. Change doesn't happen overnight, or it can, right? We can use our communication and our thoughts in a very cutting way, sarcasm. We can say something in an instant, and then because something kind of bothers you about that situation, but you don't go back and fix it or bother to fix it, or you feel then you shouldn't, or you have a bunch of ideas about that. We can get really wound up in our thoughts. I saw this meme. I'm sorry, I ate something earlier. It's bothering my mouth. I saw this meme a couple of weeks ago. And the individual approached the guy and says, oh, he was eating like a burrito or something like that. And he said, oh, I thought you were on a diet. And he's like, oh, well, I thought you were at a funeral yesterday. Oh, I thought you and your girlfriend broke up. Oh, I thought your dog died. Oh, I thought, you were still looking for work. Oh, I thought you were homeless. Like our thoughts about things, it can go either way. It's how you use them. And to sit back and take time to look at our thoughts and see how they can really, I received a text yesterday, and my relationship with that person is a little rocky. So, of course, I instantly saw it. I glanced at it, and in that quick moment, I was like, oh, I wonder what that's about. And I was kind of like, it was actually a very benign text with well wishes. Right? We all have these pockets. Right? We misread things, or maybe see them through a veil of pain, and instead of just appreciate, we just go into a different place with it, right? So, I don't know, just some examples. And we always kind of feel like we have to respond. Like if somebody is questioning we don't really need to explain ourselves, but we can just let the remark go. That's a choice too. That's a choice of maybe not communicating, but also just choosing to be neutral, and then maybe figuring out why we don't feel that great about what that person said. Maybe why from that communication a barrage of feelings exploded within us, and we then respond with what may feel good in the moment, but ultimately doesn't feel good. A little, maybe even not that far down the road. So she's the Queen of Swords, is here to offer us a transformation of thoughts, to let the patterns of thinking that we've had transform into something more mature, more gracious, like a queen would be, more open to interpretation, and more feeling involved in it, because it's a queen, right? So there's a feminine aspect, so there's going to be, you know, some more emotion available. Another card coming is the Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana. So a queen is considered, even though she's a court card, this could be a character around you. This could be someone who you admire, right? Or somebody around you who is a mentor. And it could be a man, right? We've talked about that, how it's important, I think, not to get really rigid in our thoughts about the gender connotation to cards, the figures. It could be a man who embodies, a good balance of the feminine and the masculine, which she kind of does. Like, she's feminine, but then thought processes are kind of masculine, kind of card of Libra kind of thing. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So we have change coming through. So when I say change, I went back to, I think the reading I did on the 1st of March, go back to that where, I was jokingly saying, and, I also realized that in that communication, I came across, I think, a little uncompassionate. I didn't like the way I came across in that. And that was, especially, given the time where we're in right now, where a lot of people are going through a lot of unexpected change. And, it's not easy to deal with things that, when change happens on a dime, because, a lot of it is that, we kind of tend to be in one of two camps where we're like, oh, gosh, everything's boring. We're always looking around for something to stimulate us and some kind of entertainment and some kind of distraction. But yet when things do change, it's a real problem. It brings out aspects of us that, it's like the Queen of Swords reversed. Sorry, there's the better look. And there's the Wheel of Fortune. So change is afoot. So again, it's sort of like, and this is an overriding theme. Things are always changing. The only constant is change. Nothing remains the same. Seasons change. The day changes. People have to change. And I was thinking about that cat that came up, I think in the reading, it was the reading on March 1st, where we had, the opening card was actually the Queen of Wands. And I was looking at that cat, and she kept thinking about that cat, she had a smaller cat on her head that was more than happy to go wherever she was going. She's bearing the light. She's going with her heart. And then she had a larger cat, a very mature cat with her, accompanying her on the walk. She had a little youngster here, and then a larger, more mature cat with her. And, these are queens. They've reached a level of maturity in their element. The Queen of Wands is the element of air and thoughts, thinking, logic, applying logic practical, like and for her, definitely utilizing good intuition. She has a lot of, again, a lot of experience. She's a queen who doesn't mind standing alone. In the reverse, it would be, kind of to her detriment. Card of Aquarius. The higher mind. Utilizing logic and intuition. Being a queen is of service to her, the people who, everything under her care. Queen who takes good responsibility for things. And she's also in this bearing a scythe rather than a sword. And I'm thinking about time, like Father Time has a scythe. She's good with her time management. King of Cups. King of Cups came up in the reading I did over the weekend. He was at the bottom of the deck, and here he is again. So again, we have two characters here who are embodying the feminine and the masculine. Very obviously. In a very mature way. So we have very mature, going back to that reading a couple days ago, where we're feeling like we have some choices that need to be made, but very grounded. I was talking about the ivy behind the figure who was looking into the distance and saying how, you can't kill ivy. One of the things about ivy that I talked about in the shorter reading, the synopsis reading, that I didn't talk about in the extended, was that the ivy also represents traditions, like things that we know and that we can bank on, that we can call from to help us handle situations. And one of those things is knowing that we can take our time. Knowing that no matter what, all is well, because we do have the experience, we do have the maturity, we've done the work to transform our thoughts so we can. And one of the things was like creative solutions. He also has a seahorse with him. Seahorses, the male in the seahorse world actually is the bearer of the children, takes care of the children. Nurturing. It's a nurturing individual. Nurturing ourselves, knows how to nurture his or her own feelings, is in touch with their feelings. Again, we've got the turtles. The turtles are solid. That turtle came up in the 10 of Pentacles card from the other draw a couple days ago. And the 10 of Pentacles, in that card, I kept really being struck even a couple of days later about how, it was the little things that, like, all of a sudden you discover this treasure, like, in the middle of nowhere, that you either, looks like it was forgotten, or maybe somebody left for you, or, it's like some overlooked thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, look at this. And then the King of Cups came in at the bottom of the deck, and now he's showing up right in the reading itself. Not as an incoming energy. That's what the cards at the bottom of the deck are, incoming energies that you might be kind of picking up on. And the King of Cups is, again, somebody who's very solid in himself. He can, manage the day, all of the little dramas that come in, the ebbs and flows of the emotion of the sea, and he can ride it and surf it, and he can also take care of those around him. He knows that he, like the turtle, and there was a turtle in that 10 of Pentacles that caught my eye, that, a turtle has its house. It's always home. It doesn't matter where the turtle lands. So no matter what kind of change is coming up, the Wheel of Fortune is changing. The changes that are upon us, the changes that are coming, we've done an amount of work that we can anchor on, like that ivy. Can't take the plant with you, but it's already planted within those seeds. We had those seeds in the Seven of Pentacles that came up a couple of weeks ago or whatever. Bottom of the deck, Justice. Something will be justified. Balance will be struck. She also has her butterflies with her. Knight of Wands. Very passionate. Oh, and 10 of Cups. And a happy home life. Happy emotional stability. Passion. Turning your passion into action. And again, we have the Two of Wands again. So, you know, helping, I think all of this will help us make those decisions. We have an eclipse coming up. We're about now into eclipse season. In 2 days, on the 13th, I think. You've got what you need. Take your time. Take your time. Rest. Rest now. Because we've obviously got a little journey ahead of us. Embrace the change. You've got what you need. Like, share, subscribe. Send this message to anybody who you think needs it. Please ask any questions in the comments. If you want your own message or your own reading, direct message me. I'll do a shorter synopsis reading that will be paired up with this on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, but it'll be mainly for Instagram. And yeah, there we are. Enjoy. Take care.